Hello there, world of tankers. Welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, I'm going to be complaining. I'm going to be complaining a lot because I'm a bit fed up, right? It takes me a little bit of time to finally get pushed over the limit to where I make a really big rant video. But that's exactly what I'm going to be doing today. I just finished my live stream on the mouse, 3-marking it, and I spent 6 hours trying to 3-mark that vehicle. At the end of the day, I had to end the stream because I kept running into the same Concept 1B, which I'll show you in the second replay, who was specifically trying to ruin my games. And this wasn't the only player. There were plenty of players who were specifically trying to ruin my experience and my games. This is something that has not been new to Blitz, but it is new because of the fact that gun marks have been added into the game. See, in the past, gun marks never existed. So because of that, I just played on my press account, right? I just did live streams, picked my tank streams, and let people pick what tanks I would play, stream for a couple hours, and call it a day. Usually pretty chill, and even if I did have a bad session, I didn't really care because my stats weren't involved. But with gun marks being added into the game, this is an entirely different story. See, the way gun marks work is you can only do them on your main account, because a press account, first of all, doesn't have over 5,000 games, so you can't actually grind them, and second of all, press account's not my account. Wargaming refreshes the press accounts every single year, gives you a new one, and completely changes the password. So it's actually impossible for me to grind marks because the press account is not my account. Because of that, I've been playing on my main account. And unlike when I normally play on my press, I actually care about how I perform. Especially because if I don't perform well, it wastes my time. That's the biggest problem. The Waffenträger Alpha E100, for example, took me almost 150 games to 3-mark. And I thought for a moment maybe I was just bad at the game. But then I realized, no, that's probably not the answer, judging that normally I'm around top 5 on the NA server when it comes to average damage and win rate. But recently, I've been having a really rough time trying to not only mark my tanks, but have an enjoyable experience. And, well, the simple reason is because of the fact that there are people who are specifically going out of their way to try and ruin my games. At first, I thought maybe it was a coincidence, but it's not at this point. It's not a coincidence. Out of the 10 vehicles I have 3-marked, 4 of them I 3-marked off of livestream. The Minnow I 3-marked off livestream. The Vickers Light I 3-marked off livestream. The Mouse I finished 3-marking off livestream. And same for the Waffenträger Alpha E100. You want to know the interesting little bit of correlation between these 4 tanks? I was able to 3-mark all 4 of those vehicles within an hour of ending my live streams. You know why? Because the moment I ended my live streams, players were no longer specifically going out of their way to try and tunnel me because they couldn't tell that I was when I ended my live stream, they just couldn't get into my games. They couldn't stream snipe me. They couldn't purposefully try to ruin my experience. And that was more evident today than ever. There were 2 players when I was in my mouse today who I probably fought maybe 30 to 40 times out of the 70 games I played on stream. And it really ruined my experience. It really did ruin my experience. And to be quite honest, I don't want to stream this game. I don't. And I probably won't be streaming gun marks for a little bit of time. Depends on what mood I'm in. But I do not like wasting my time. Spending 6 hours of my time to try and 3-mark something while I'm absolutely furious due to the games that I'm getting, it's not fun. It's not fun for me. It's not fun for the viewers. And it's definitely not good for people that are experiencing this game for the first time, watching one of the largest content creators giving it a pretty bad rap due to the experiences that he's having. Now, there's a very simple solution to this problem, which I've brought up to Wargaming many times, and I'm not the only person that's brought this up to Wargaming. There are countless other content creators who have also brought this up. When His Royal Fatness is still playing this game, for those of you who don't know who he is, was a very, very prominent comp figure. But him and I both brought up during something called the World of Tanks Blitz Dev Summit like 5 years ago, when will you add the anonymizer into Blitz? And the devs directly replied, this is something that we are planning on adding within the year. You can actually go back and find that stream wherever it happened, and they literally said that verbatim. And yet, here we are, 5 years later, and there is still no anonymizer. It is so incredibly frustrating to be a content creator who constantly pours his heart and soul into this game and feel forgotten by Wargaming. Listen up, Wargaming. You might not like me. You might not like all the opinions that I have, and the CCs that watch my content might also cry about me in their little CC chats. But at the end of the day, I am the face of the WotB community. And it's a little bit disappointing when I pour my heart and soul into this game more than just about anybody else in the content creation scene, and yet I feel completely ignored. And I think most of the community feels this way as well. The only reason Wargaming started doing things that the community wanted was because Reforged had such big backlash that Wargaming literally had to fire their lead dev, to what I'm aware. That is crazy that is what it took to actually get Wargaming to start listening to us. The Anonymizer is such a simple concept. It is such a simple concept. The way it works is basically when you load into a battle, instead of my name being Poopmaster 9000, it would be Bobby McDooferson or John Doe, right? It would just be a random name. And then if I set a 3-minute live stream delay, nobody would know it's me. 99% of the players would not know it's me. And because of that, it would be virtually impossible for people to stream snipe and purposely ruin my games. But instead, we get battles like this. I'm in my mouse. This is one of the games I played after I ended my stream. We can see that there's a Concept 1B on my team. This is the concept that was specifically getting into my battles over and over and over, trying to ruin my experience. Every time he was on my team, he would go out of his way to try and screw me over by leaving me to die. And when he was on the enemy team, he would only focus me in trying to ruin my experience. You can literally read in chat, bro, I'm legitimately here to ruin you. He says it in cold words. It's not even like a secret. You know, there's some people that are like, oh, well, you know, maybe they're just for some reason in front of you. They're not. This is a purposeful, you know, they're literally targeting me. I don't know what I did to them, pissed them off somehow, but the point being, these players are specifically targeting me, they're specifically targeting Cora, and other content creators who are trying to stream and 3-mark their vehicles. Wargaming, it is not a good look when you have content creators like myself who cannot enjoy this game or cannot have a fun time trying to 3-mark and stream because they are specifically being focused over and over and over. And the problem is, if I were to message Wargaming this problem, I know nothing would be done. That is the issue. Whenever I quietly bring this up to Wargaming themselves in Discord DMs, nothing gets done. They don't listen to me. It takes them half a year to reply, let alone actually solve the problem. So, the best thing I can do is use my voice and my platform to share my experiences that I've been having. I have legitimately been having the least enjoyment ever in Blitz since the gun marks have been added. And it's not because of the gun marks themselves, but it's the ill-preparedness that Wargaming had when adding these into the game and forgetting, gee, maybe we should add gun marks, or Anonymizer. The Anonymizer should have been added years ago. The fact that it still hasn't been added is insane. It's been on World of Tanks PC for years, and yet a much smaller game where people can easily get into my battles if they want to, it hasn't been added? Like, are you serious? It's pretty frustrating. And at the end of the day, I don't rely on this game anymore. I don't. In the past, obviously Blitz was my only source of income. But nowadays, I have multiple channels. I have a Helldivers channel, which is doing pretty popular at this point. I have a GTA channel, which has almost 80,000 subscribers and goes up way more subscribers and views than my World of Tanks Blitz channel. And I'm also working on a reaction channel, right? At the end of the day, I don't need Blitz. Blitz needs me. If I stop posting videos on this game, chances are there's not going to be many other people that are willing to pick up the slack. And even if they do, there's just no way that in the current state of Blitz and the way that this game is, that they would be able to build anything even half the size of my channel. And it's not to say, like, some egotistical thing about, oh, I'm the best and, you know, everybody else sucks. The point I'm trying to make is that I have poured my heart and soul into this game to try and make it the best possible place it can be. And when I am not having an enjoyable experience, it is going to reflect in the content and the way that I represent myself. It is very frustrating to be ignored like a shadow when I bring up problems with Blitz. It is very frustrating in general to be the largest content creator and yet be ignored every single time I talk to Wargaming. It is frustrating, and I'm a little bit sick of it, I'm not going to lie. And the gun marks have kind of pushed me over the edge, because as I said, I have been grinding gun marks every single day for the last 10 days. And when I'm spending 8-10 hours driving a Waffenträger Alf E100 and having people specifically go out of their way to ruin my experience because Wargaming was too lazy to add a simple mechanic into the game that I and other people have been asking to be added into the game for years, it's very frustrating. Listen, I don't blame Wargaming if they don't do anything about players trying to ruin my games. But I do blame them when they don't give content creators and people that are actively pouring their heart and soul into this game the ability to hide their account or at least have a decent time streaming. Because all that's going to happen is every time I stream, the 350 plus people that I've been getting on my streams are going to be like, wow, this guy is not having a fun time. And they're not going to continue watching my streams or playing the game. And listen, I don't need to rely on this game for money, so it doesn't matter to me if people don't watch the stream because they're not having a fun time. But at the end of the day, those are people that are playing your game, Wargaming, and the more people that see I'm getting tunneled, the more people that see I'm having a terrible experience, are the same people that are going to stop playing this game. So can we please listen to me on some of the problems with Blitz when it comes to autoloaders, the matchmaker, and most importantly, just the basic core fundamentals of the game. Can we please add an anonymizer into the game? Let me know what you guys think in the chat. But either way, something that I needed to rant about. For any of you that have been watching my live streams, you know how frustrating this has been for me. And I can't sit back here and not express my frustrations, okay? I've spent 6 hours today live streaming the mouse. Over the past week, I've probably spent 50 plus hours on Blitz, and I would have much rather spent that time posting GTA videos, Helldivers videos, or working on my reaction channel. But no, I'm still here posting Blitz content. So it would be nice if Wargaming gave me a little bit of respect in return, maybe told me, we'll work on an anonymizer, or just replied to me in general. Either way, hopefully enjoyed the video. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.